howdy, time for a quick update. This is the view, beautiful view from my room. I'm roughing it at the Hilton. So Saturday, right? Yesterday was a crazy day. Just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my tracking, and then about my new shiny camera. So after I delivered the machine, that Volvo excavator, in Ottawa, I drove I think until 8 o'clock and shut down a Nepani at the pilot. Got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and 4:30 I was on the highway because I needed to be in Guelph with my truck, and then in Cambridge with my car for the headers installation. And so I drove non-stop from Nepani to Aberfoyle or Guelph. It was like 285 kilometers, basically 180 miles. And it took from 4:30, I think I was at the shop in Guelph, and about like 7:30. Perfect, you know, driving at 65 miles an hour with the Jeep and the booster on the trailer. And I just left the truck there, so they're replacing the that valve on the back that drains air, and they're fixing the missing bolt on one of the shocks, and they're checking all the bolts on all the shocks and installing two missing new shocks on the truck that they didn't have before. And also they're fixing the door, right, the hinge on the door. And so I called Uber. Uber took me to my car in Guelph, where I had my long tube headers from BBK already stored in the car, and then I just drove to the OK Tire in Cambridge, gave him the car, and that's it. So now I didn't have a truck, I didn't have a car, so I had to walk everywhere. That's why, you know, I went to a hotel nearby. So from here it's about 15-minute walk to the OK Tire. So, but it's a bit chilly, so I think on the way back I took a Uber again. It was like, you know, 3-minute ride, but you know, they don't mind. And so I didn't hear anything from the Guelph shop by the end of Friday, so I'm guessing my truck will be ready Monday. And K-Tire called me and they said, we're not sure what your expectations are about the time frame. I said, well, I know it takes a whole day. And we talked about the price, and I knew that would be around, you know, like 10 hours. So, and they charge 95 bucks an hour Canadian. But they didn't finish Friday. I went there at 3 o'clock, asked them to let me film because I'm doing another video about this mod. You know, I recorded a cold start exhaust sound with existing exhaust manifold, and then I did this little clip where I show how the car is on the hoist, half disassembled, and they showed me the new headers, which actually look pretty good, except they said the flanges, you know, where the long tube headers connect to mid pipes, the flanges, it looked like somebody dropped them on a hard, you know, concrete floor. They were bent in one spot, so these guys had to use a hammer to straighten them out. They were not, you know, like a round shape, but like basically bent, you know. And so I'm gonna leave a bad comment about this, but I don't know who did this. You know, I never checked the boxes inside. I should have opened the boxes and see if it's damaged, because maybe I asked these guys, I said, please be honest, did you drop this? Like, did you do it in the shop? And they said no. And I trust them, so it's probably somebody. So it was shipped by UPS from BBK. I'm not sure where I think BBK is somewhere in California or something. Or maybe they're Midwest, but so somebody somewhere dropped this thing hard on the floor. But the headers look nice and shiny. I like it. Again, I just hope it's not going to be too loud. And so I asked him if if they can finish it on the Saturday, which is today. And the owner, Christian, says he'll be here, he'll be at the shop, but it's up to the mechanic to decide if he wants to come in, because Christian just comes in to do his paperwork for the week, you know. And I said, hey, tell your mechanic I'll give him $100 tip if he comes in on Saturday. And he just laughed and he says, okay. And I didn't hear from them again, so I'm assuming they're not doing anything, because I've been checking my phone to see if there's gonna be like an email or a text message saying your car is ready. Nothing. And yesterday I also met with the logistics guy, with the freight broker from Manitoba, and actually he's also a carrier. And we talked about a couple of loads, because he's having some interesting offers in the pipeline, you know, from shippers. And so we booked, after I do this load, like I'm loading Tuesday, I'm loading a drill rig based on a Cat 323 chassis. It's like the Cat is 56,000 pounds, but the attachment is about 30,000. It's like a big, you know, boom with I have the full spec. And so I did this with the Russian freight broker from Toronto. I sometimes work with. I know they're good guys. Their credit is excellent. They pay pretty quickly. But actually, I think last time I used my factoring company. But so the load is in the books. We agreed on the price, so I have all the documents. And I received Friday. I picked up the originals of my of paperwork for my flip axle. And so this is perfect, because this load that I'm loading Tuesday, the drill rig, it's going to New Jersey, some weird name town. So I'm gonna look it up, but I'll be not too far from Hale Trailer in Voorhees. And so I'm gonna go there and pick up the axle. And I talked to the guy who's helping me with the import into Canada. He says he cannot give me the license plate because it's considered a used axle. So he says you have to bring it in across the border, and he says I'll help you with the customs. And right away I said, wait, then I know if I'm bringing it across the border, I need the original documents. And so I thought I should drop these off, you know, to his office like this. I have original title and original bill of sale. And then we decided, wait a second, I need them, right? I need the originals. And basically, once I pick up this flip axle after delivery of the drill rig, then I'm loading. I have another load from this guy from Manitoba, some kind of a big steel tank they use for decontamination of some garbage or something, but it's like a 30-ton, you know, metric, 66,000 pounds. So basically, I have 4 loads right now booked. So one load is the drill rig. I deliver, I go pick up the flip axle, then I go load the steel tank, take it back to Toronto. Then I don't have the load to go into US, but I have the other load, another steel tank like that, another 30 metric tons that comes back to Canada. And then end of the month there's another heavy load from I think it's Maryland, like something big and heavy. I'll have to bring my Jeep and my booster. And that one sort of is confirmed. We agreed on a rate, unless something happens with the ship or something, I don't know. And so yeah, a bunch of loads. And also we were talking about, oh yeah, and so because of all these loads are less than, you know, 90,000 pounds. So Monday when I pick up my truck, I'm gonna call the wrecker company and ask him to send me the guy with the wrecker. And this time I'll just get rid of the Jeep, I'll get rid of the booster and just set up the truck like it was when I set up the trailer, like it was when I just bought it. And so it'll be a quad trailer, no spreader bar, and I'll change the flip box from 83 to 36. So this way I can do this drill rig, which is somewhere around 80,000 pounds, and then I can do that steel tank, 66,000 pounds, right? So it'll, I don't know, 2-3 weeks I don't need the Jeep or booster, and then that heavy load, then I'll just again change it to the Jeep and booster setup. So those are the news. So yeah, I'm relaxing until Tuesday. News from the lawyer regarding that Maryland fiasco. He received my check. The check, he says, the check is deposited. I made sure I have the money in my account, so the check clears. And he already submitted documents for a trial. And I asked him if it's possible to do this in my, absence, because I said I'm 500 miles away, and now I'm not sure. Like, the borders are closed. It's essential traffic only. I'm not even sure they would allow me to come in, let's say, in my personal car. But he says he'll try, but he says for now it looks like I'll have to come to the trial. But it's in July. Like, he says finally the courts are moving. Everything is basically working, and he says this is your trial day, and it's like either June, last day of June, or last day of July. But anyway, it's like far into the future as far as I'm concerned, so I'm not worried about that. And then another thing, funny thing happened, is that I stopped by my mailbox to pick up the mail that came as I was doing all these loads, and I see a very thick big envelope, and it says Ministry of Finance. And I'm thinking, why is it usually, if it's like IFTA documents, they come in a small pack, envelope, but this is like big envelope, and I feel there's lots of papers inside. And I open it, and it says, "Dear Mr. Dratchev, you've been selected for a desk audit." And I look at the dates. These guys want, they're auditing me for the past 3 years. Well, I think it's starting from 2018, 2019, 2020 here. Like 10 months in 2018, then full 2019, and then 10 months in 2020. And there's like a bunch, basically it's fuel receipts. I have to find all my fuel receipts. I have to find all my mileage for each particular quarter. So it's gonna be an interesting adventure, and they want all this sent to them before April 5, which today, what is 13th, right? So basically I have, 3 weeks. But I like bookkeeping, I like numbers, so I'll figure something out. The good thing is that I started searching through all these envelopes, right? I do every month with, that's where all my fuel receipts are. And I found everything except 3 months were missing, which is still good, right? Like 3 years, and I found pretty much everything. And then I looked in a different drawer in my truck, I found 2 more. And so now one envelope, I have to find one envelope, and I suspect it's somewhere in my car, because at some point, sometimes when I go to a hotel and I have to do my books, I take the envelope and I throw that on the back seat there. So once the car is done with the headers, I'm gonna search the car. So I'm missing one envelope, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the kilometers or miles on a particular day. I might call my e-log provider and ask for their help, because of course they're writing down your mileage, they're recording your mileage, but I don't know, I'm not signed up for this, for the premium package where they give you the mileage. So I know it's being recorded, but I didn't pay them for that option, so I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them to see if they can make it active, like retroactively. But yeah, I need that, because I did the mileage. I use these notebooks, right, where each time I cross the state line or province line, I just write my odometer. And of course I don't keep those notebooks. I usually keep them until it's time to do the IFTA return every 3 months, and then I just You know, I might have some old ones somewhere, but I doubt it goes back as far as 2018. So that's what's happening. So lots of work. The quote is in the future. I have to do the audit. I have to change the truck to the 8-axle version, but there's lots of work. That's the good stuff. So lots of money is coming in. The cash flow is back to normal. And speaking about cash flow, so due to my, as some commenters always mention, that I have poor cash flow management skills. Well, I don't know about that, but usually I buy a good camera in the summer when I make a lot of money, and then it acts as a kind of like emergency savings, and then in winter I have to sell it. And so my last camera was Nikon D850, and I went with a gray market. So regular version is 3,000 US. I bought a gray market. Like, it's all legal except that that camera was probably made for like China or India. You know, it's not for sale, let's say, in the States. And there's this company in the States, in New Jersey actually, they sell these gray market cameras, and it was 2,500 US, so I saved $500. But you get only 1 month of warranty from the seller. And the problem is that if it breaks down, you cannot take it to Nikon. You have to find you know, independent shop that will agree to repair it, because Nikon and Canon, like pretty much all major manufacturers, they don't want to deal with gray market cameras. You know, they just refuse to repair them. You know, and so I did have a scare. Like a couple of buttons here on the camera were malfunctioning. A couple of times I got scared, and so this time, but it was a good camera, except it was pretty heavy, like 2.5 pounds, you know, 1 kilo. And so I sold it, and I knew that of course I would get another camera, but this time I decided to go with something, this Nikon D780, like the new, it's a much newer version. Like the D850 is about, I think it came out in 2017. This is 2020, so it has new processor, you know, the live view is all, you know, live view electronics has been updated, like better focusing, and also it's much lighter. It's only 2 pounds or 800 grams. Same good quality, you know, images, and it looks much better than I used to have a D750, which this is supposed to be, you know, next step up from that one. But it feels different. It feels, you know, more comfortable. It feels bigger. Like the grip is bigger. And I got this 18 to 35 zoom lens. It's only 350 grams, you know, I like it. And the best part about this camera is that they introduced lots of, like I shoot JPEG, I don't do, you know, RAW, and so I don't like editing pictures, you know, I don't do Photoshop, I don't do Lightroom, but and so I want to have a picture perfect from the camera, right? And so the most popular feature like I use is the picture controls, right? So you can play with the appearance of the image. And what they did with this camera is that they added a bunch of picture controls, like something usually you'll find on a Fuji or something, you know, where they have all these effects, you know, it's already. And I found this cool, it's called Denim. You see, like here, I'll show you. And I like this screen. So this is, you see over here? That's Denim. And then I have all this pure, melancholic, what is that, bleached, silence, dramatic, Sunday, you know, pop. I tried that pop first. I didn't like it too much, so I'm using this. I like this Denim for some reason. It has some blue tones, you know, but I did a test with I did a test with some construction machinery and it looked great, you know. So here's some pictures I took over here, but I'll show them. Yeah, I went to this John Deere, so I'll show them in big size in a second. Anyway, so that's my new camera, you know, just basically use it for mostly landscapes and then some automotive photography like trucks, cars, you know, my loads. And sometimes I do street photography, and I like architecture. I like old buildings, you know. And of course, this shoots video. This shoots 4K, but I don't like using big cameras for video. I like using this, like this GoPro, you know, small, easy to carry. So this is mostly for photography. But great camera if you're looking for something, you know, advanced. Of course, it's not cheap, so this sells for $3 grand Canadian in Canada, or about 2,250 bucks US. But super nice camera, super nice. Like the battery life, yeah, like everybody's switching to mirrorless now, but the battery life on this is 5 times better than any mirrorless camera. And you can do the same. You see, like when it's on now, right? Okay. When you go to live view, right now, actually this is the first thing they did. I forgot to mention this. This is, you see, I can adjust quickly. And you see it focuses automatically, right? It's still a bit noisy. You can hear the noise. But it's supposed to be the first camera that has a usable focus when shooting movies. You know? But again, like, I'm not gonna use it for, unless absolutely necessary for video, because it's still noisy. It's still, like, Canon is still the king as far as I'm concerned when it comes to shooting videos. The dual pixel technology is amazing. So this one is, but at least it's not hunting. It's not like doing that you know, in and out. It's just, see? So it's pretty good. It's much better, you know, than previous cameras. You see, it just focuses. This is movie mode, live mode. And it just focuses automatically on everything. So there you go. So that's my new camera. So now you're up to date. You know what's going on with the truck, with the car, with the camera. So next week is going to be super busy, but I'm going to make a lot of money. Have a good weekend.